Pardon the history.
Here's just a quick little walk around, my first look at the car and where I picked it up. It's kind of like a junkyard. It's a bunch of old cars, mostly European stuff sitting around. Just thought I'd share this with y'all. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Streamlined Builds. We'll be getting into the Supra in a second. I was just checking out some stuff on my Scout project here. If you don't know what that is, it's my 67 right-hand drive Scout I found. It's a good rust-free solid project. It's a little beat up, kind of like the Supra, but also doing a 2JZ in here. Things are getting pretty serious, and just need to throw some wiring on here and a rear drive shaft, and pretty much should be able to do the first start on this. But yeah, that's cool. If you want to check that out, I got some videos and gonna be doing more soon as well. We got our transmission out here, pretty much ready to get the car lifted a little higher, put it up on some jack stands, see if we can't get that trans up in there. Went to the junkyard and just got out of like an SC300, got all the bell housing bolts, starter bolts, a few other things that needed for this. Found some red like fender bolts and things like that, just snagged up. And first thing though, I got this little crazy wire wheel on the grinder trick, and I'm just gonna delete all this nasty Bondo on here and see exactly what we got. I did remove the antenna here, and I mean literally you can just grab a hold of all that bodywork, so that's pretty good. And in doing so, I also saw that this whole quarter, the entire thing, has been replaced before. So just, this car is trouble, let me tell ya. Just using my foot here, trying to fit my fat foot in between the open space and push it out as good as I can. I don't know how I'm gonna get this in there. Is there a jack? Come on. Can't be that heavy. Don't even have a transfer case. Okay, here's a look under the car. Popped the old flywheel and clutch off here. There was no kind of gasket maker or anything in the holes, so there was oil just like coming out of the bolts. Not very ideal. On 2Js, 1Js, you gotta remember, put some sealant on your bolts or else oil can leak through on your clutch. Our slave cylinder does not look like it's in the best of condition. I'm gonna try and run it anyways. Starter, I already know it turns. Doesn't feel great, but we'll use that. Wiring was a little dirty. I licked it, cleaned it up good. And even though I don't have a speed sensor yet, but yeah, details. All right, and outside, I did go ahead and pull the fenders off so I could finish tightening the bolts and lining the doors up as good as I could, and doesn't sag or fall anymore. So good there. And for our body work, you know, it's not anything perfect, but definitely way better. I would say at least 27.8, if not 27.9 times better than what it was. Pretty hard to get into this area, but I was able to use like a pry bar has a lever over like this inner structure, and like push and pull against it from over here to get a lot of that out. I mean, that was sunk in pretty far, so I can still work a lot more of that, and I can get this right here and some of this too easily by pulling the inner quarter panel off inside. There's a hole with up through here, basically above the little pocket. I can get through from inside as well, and that'll be a lot easier to get to that stuff. So pretty confident with all that. I mean, this definitely just looks so much better, and it took me maybe 20 minutes, so not too hard. And from what I've seen, once I pull the headliner out, basically I have almost full, you know, access to all this. I'm not sure how wide the supports are under here, but I think it should be like just to here, so I should be able to have full access to this entire panel other than the little cross beam in the center, and get all that stuff cleaned up too. So I went ahead and wire brushed a lot of the loose filler that was on there, just so it wasn't gonna be rusting or cracking more. Okay boys, just got the upper starter bolt kind of in there, just so I don't have to try and mess with that later. If it gets in my way, it is what it is, but trying to be ahead of the game. Had to do a little research and ask the company how this whole throwout bearing is supposed to go, but I got it all locked and loaded now, ready to go. So try and slide under here, put this thing on my chest and get it in place. Alright, and that is it. Drive shaft's in, trans is in, shifter's on. Didn't even skimp on any of the bell housing bolts. Got them all in. Our one wire for our reverse back up here. I don't know if you can see it, kind of somewhere up here. It's dark, but it's got the wrong plug. And our slave cylinder actually will not work at all because I need like a W58 one, I guess, or whatever, you know, what it comes standard in the Supra. Has the two bolts that go on the side of this cover, but everything else is there. It's all working, so should be good to roll. More than you can afford, pal. Ferrari. Well, I'm super stoked on all the progress we made with the body, getting the trans in here, and next time we'll have a speed sensor, new slave cylinder. We can fill the trans up, drop it on the ground, try and start this thing for the first time, and if it all goes well, heck, we can even take it for a drive, do some burnouts. So I'm excited for that. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.